For the best TV viewing experience, witness the coziest maroons, the most vibrant and brightest moons, the eeriest and darkest tombs, and radiant and vivid hues in any type of room with the Neo QLED and OLED TVs by Samsung. We're supposed to say Samsung, but that didn't rhyme, so you're welcome. Samsung, more wow than ever.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Okay.
That was a bit loud
already
in my ear.
It has to be. It has to be. People know that there is a triggering may occur. Sardines are great when other people prepare and cook them. Yes, you don't really want the smell of sardines in your house. Completing on the Posada business, youth inns, Posadas de Juventud are usually cheaper. Okay, so that's why I was confused.
Didn't we stay in one of those when we were way too old to in the Chalet?
No, that was just a youthful hostel.
Oh,
I don't think it was an official. It might have been. And I didn't know, and you did. Sat in the Aveiro Hospital waiting room. What? Nothing important, just some regular blood work. Oh, we're talking about vampires as well, aren't we today?
Yeah, lunch at the crickets rather than a lunch of crickets, which the Bilderberg group will actually want to bring in for us.
You do not miss an opportunity. Squire of the Shires, who likes a bit of Iberian FM action. The Bilderberg group reminds us of the values and principles of a certain political party in Germany in the late 30s. Their philosophies endure in this and similar organizations today. Yikes, that's chilling. And bring it on, says Bygrandy, wanting to talk about this. Fist! And there's a glamping weekend from the 26th to the 29th in the Pampilhosa de Cerro. Don't fancy that in thunderstorms and rain, just for everyone else's benefit. Cheers, Pete. Thank you very much. You don't want to be going, do you think you should go to a Fava Festa and then camp that night? What a nightmare!
But there's enough gas. You'd be cooking on gas if you want to.
It'd be nice and warm in there.
You could literally cook on your own gas.
The advocate for highly. So, back to the Bilderberg group. We are sublime and ridiculous, aren't we here? And let's not forget those dad jokes later. They advocate for a highly centralized national governments that are heavily socialized, centralized, controlled education and removal of organized religion. Okay, I've gone off them already. Right, let's see what they're up to in Lisbon this weekend. They've cancelled what? The Illuminati? Is it Halluminati?
The Halluminati.
The Halluminati have cancelled the local cheese festival due to strong winds, which have blown the tents away. Very good. Okay. I can delay this no longer. I'm going to bring onto the screen the Bilderberg website. Have you seen that, Mrs. M? The tab has just got two numbers on. Are they power numbers or something that you would?
Got 2.0.
It just says apostrophe 20 on the Bilderberg website. Is that a sign of some sort?
Most likely, but I don't know what it's a sign of.
Most likely. Okay, before.
Isn't it just like 20?
I don't know. I really don't know. We're back to their homepage now, and we're bringing them onto the screen now on the Iberian FM phone-in.
Yeah, I mean,
yes.
What's always fascinating to me is all this government documents. It's very sort of like
it's not government.
You know what I mean? But I mean, these guys feed into the governments.
Okay, well, let's find out. Since its inaugural meeting in 1954, the annual Bilderberg meeting has been a forum for informal discussions to foster dialogue between Europe and North America. Not unlike ourselves so far. Okay, we're happy. However,
yeah, neither of us were here in 1954.
No, but we do like to foster dialogue between Europe and North America. Apart from creating a massive hitstorm this morning by describing cornbread as cake, I wonder if that's on their agenda. I got into some trouble with that. Every year, approximately 130 political leaders and experts from industry, finance, labor, academia, and the media are invited to take part. And you can barely wait to comment. I can hear you taking a breath already.
Who's choosing these experts? I mean,
they're choosing themselves. It's like
exactly.
It's like a Gumper gathering.
Yeah, it's like you choosing who's.
Let's do it for the sake of some objective comparison and logic in this conversation. Let's do like a control group of Gumpers. So Gumpers get together, and others might point a finger and say, "Oh, they're just an elitist group." who are self-serving
Yeah.
and only interested in their own lives.
Yeah.
Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
All groups that get together pretty much do that.
Well,
right?
yeah, that does happen. But these guys are feeding into everything.
All right, let's find out. Let's find out about. You're not. I don't think you're coming into this in a very open-minded way. This is the open-minded, open-hearted discussion phone-in where.
Yeah, where are the
where we-
calls? Sorry, if it's a phone in, is your phone first of all? Is it
she's
turned
getting
on?
eggy. She's getting
Is it
eggy as well.
charged?
It is charged and it's Bluetooth connected, and we are ready for your calls. Should you want to make one, you'll have the shock of your life if old Klaus calls in.
Oh, I'd love to speak with him.
Would you?
Yeah, I'd love to.
Or he would say, "This is Dave calling from Berlin. I can tell you that the World Economic Forum has no malintent in your lives. Eat the bugs. Thank you. Have a nice day. Love to the family." Okay, right. About 2/3 of the participants come from Europe and the rest from North America. 1/3 from politics and government and the rest from other fields.
Let's see who's on the speaker list this year.
Let me finish my sentence.
Okay.
The meeting is a forum for informal discussion about major issues, just like a Gumper gathering, and some more sort of local ideas and where to get the best bifana and that sort of thing. Although no doubt if they're meeting in Lisbon, they'll be talking about that as well. The meetings are held under the Chatham House rule, which I have to say does sound like something from Eton, doesn't it? Chatham House rules, chaps. Oh yes, with some stolly bolly on the side, which states that participants are free to use the information received, but neither the identity nor the affiliation of the speakers, nor any other participant may be revealed. Well, what goes on in Vegas stays in Vegas. What goes on at the Gumper gathering stays at the Gumper gathering. Confidentiality, respect.
Also, a lack of transparency.
You might say. Thanks to the private...
And no responsibility for what you're actually saying. Because what it's saying there with those Chatham House rules...
wait to get to the FAQs.
is that you can share the content, but you're not allowed to say who was involved.
Right.
Well, that's just like gossip. That's just like saying...
All right. Yeah, but then it's no different to a lot of other human gatherings, okay?
Yeah, but like these feed into public policy.
See, great similarities between a Gumper gathering and the Bilderberg so
No,
far.
they feed into public policy. And, I think we should have absolute transparency in a way that at the start of the phenomenon known as the pandemic, there was a lack of transparency as to how much things had been tested, where the information was coming from.
You're peaking early here.
Okay.
Can we come back?
That's fair enough.
Okay. Soalheira, Pete is lightening the mood with a bit of Vinho Verde here. It's a village I can never pronounce. Soalheira, to pronounce it properly, you have to swallow marbles. Don't try this at home, kids. They are the elite of the world, and they believe in using military power to advance their cause when necessary. Okay, so Gumpers don't believe in that.
Well, I hope some do. I have seen I have seen with my own eyes.
Shame on you if you're a Gumper and you believe in military power to advance our cause.
I have seen a comment from one or two Gumpers suggesting that anyone that doesn't go along with certain mandates should be
facing military force.
Should be
That's
forcibly
right,
put into the back of a police van, taken off to a camp, and medically.
No Gumper would say that.
I've seen it with my own eyes.
All right, the ultimate.
So everyone exists within every community.
They do. Okay, and that's why we have an open-minded, open-hearted discussion here. The sort of thing you're not going to see this anywhere else on the internet, are you?
Yes, you will.
What, a comparison between Gumpers and the Bilderberg?
Oh no, maybe not. But...
And a light-hearted look at world domination. The ultimate goal is a one world government that dominates the entire planet.
Yeah,
well, that's a big agenda.
Well, I mean, that's already coming on.
No, please, wait. Okay, I'm not going to stop you speaking, but I might.
You are actually.
Well, I know.
Every 5 minutes.
Technically speaking, I am stopping. We're doing it to each other.
Do you know that there's a new bit of legislation that all of the governments are all signing into at the moment to say that if the CDC or the WHO calls another pandemic, that every single country has to abide by these new rules, and these new rules supersede the government protocols.
Yeah, I understand that.
So that's just been completely signed into worldwide practice against the actual people and consultation, and it seems to have completely ignored any counter evidence of whether that's an effective protocol or not. So there's like this, just as the BBC in the UK and Sky News in the UK are saying, oh, avian flu is coming. And as they're saying that in America and in China, and sowing the seeds for it. I mean, they're sowing the seeds for it, just as a new legislation has been signed in to say that next time a pandemic is coming, and lots of people have already said, like Bill Gates, for instance, who has absolutely no interest, whether, like no financial interest.
Internet Explorer. We're back to Internet Explorer again, aren't we?
He's already saying there will be another pandemic. It's almost like he's got a crystal ball.
When I think of Bill Gates, he has caused so much misery, isn't he? Internet Explorer, that paperclip.
Yeah, that paperclip was pretty tragic. But
Microsoft Teams.
And then you've got a lot of these
2020.
And then you've got a lot of these stooges meeting up in a secret meeting where they're not held accountable for what is being discussed.
Are we back at the Bilderbergs now?
Yes,
okay.
And yet they're going to go back to their respective locales, and they're going to get everyone into some kind of locked step forward.
Right. Okay.
So I'm just a little bit.
Well, it's going well there. According to their agenda, that does sound quite one world government. What you just described.
Yeah. I mean, if there was something to occur, and they decide to all pull rank simultaneously at the same time, they can actually say, well, because of this health outbreak with avian flu, every bit of wildfowl can be killed. If you've got your own hens, even if they're locked up, they can all be executed. They could actually say, "Oh, you're much better off eating insects, and it's much better for the environment."
Well, if I continue my comparison of the slaughter of
individuality and sovereignty, and human rights,
you are peaking very early. I've got to say, that could be the climactic point of your points, but you went straight there, and I don't blame you for that. But if we're talking about the slaughter of bird life, the Gumpers would only do that at the Shoulda Square on a Friday night. A bit of barbecued chicken. We would not go to the extremes that the Bilderbergs you allegedly would go to. So Viv is saying absolutely unique. Let's send Klaus home. He's not Santa Claus, is he? Let's face it. Although he does have a special kind of gift for everybody. But we don't want it.
Satan Claus.
So there's Santa Claus, and you say there's Satan Claus.
Yeah.
Right, okay. We'll do a better job with love and good food and beer and wine. Yes, that is a Gumper agenda. Squire of the Shire says, while the country was locked down, they were on vacation or getting
a haircut. Yeah, absolutely.
Is that a euphemism?
Or no, that's wasn't that House Speaker Nancy Pelosi getting a haircut?
Oh, I see.
At like reopening a
allegedly.
No, there's actual evidence for doing it.
A photograph on Facebook is not evidence.
No, I think she was questioned on it, and said,
yes, I had my haircut.
She was very indifferent about it. She didn't care.
Really?
And none of them were wearing masks.
While your child's school was closed, their children continued to learn in private school. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and they learn different material as well.
Andrew Gilchrist likes, the Build-A-Bear. They're just down the road from you, Andrew. You're going to pop down there and take some photos for us. While you had to abide by the rules, wearing the Ag masks were too busy partying, feeling the spirit. I saw Matt Hancock on Twitter. Oh my God, what an individual. Prefer Danny Bear to Build-A-Bear. Yeah, fair point. I'm not quitting bacon. You see, he doesn't mind about the world domination, but he's not.
Everyone has their limits. Everyone has.
So he's got a bacon threshold.
For most people, we are fine all the time that the control mechanisms that actually work for us in our lives aren't disrupted. But the moment something comes in that disrupts and causes a bit of pain for us, that's when we hit the threshold.
That's right. So I'll do anything, but give up bacon.
And then
you can have your world domination and 15-minute cities, but try and take my bacon away. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because we all have a different pain threshold. And mine is honesty.
Yeah, which triggers you every day, pretty much, doesn't it? You should stop looking at Facebook. And conspiracy mums.
I don't go on any conspiracy.
There is no such thing, is there? I made that up.
Carla's been ridiculing me, saying I'm part of a conspiracy mums group.
Why don't we start it?
No, I have no interest.
That'll be a good school group. Conspiracy moms with an O. Or his eggs.
Yeah, I don't want my eggs to go either.
Which ones are we talking about? Squire of the Shire. Either eggs. Okay, yeah, that's a bit awkward, isn't it? And chilling. This might. Hey Jay, how are you? This might Bilderberg meet might be where they agree some nice proposal to end the suffering of humanity at the end of death. Yeah, we can live it. Thank you, Jay, for bringing a ray of sunshine into.
I love your optimism there, and that would be really,
Wouldn't it be
really,
great?
truly amazing.
And maybe in
wouldn't it?
1954, that's how it started. It's like, gentlemen, we could bring about the end of human suffering and end dead slavery with this meeting and these powerful people gathered here. What do you think? You gotta be kidding. Yes. Well, we can only hope, Jay, and thank you.
I
for
really
that.
love that, Jay.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
Could Santa be part of this conference, says Global Nobles? He knows if you're sleeping. It was the surveillance that we were brought up on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not.
Oh my God! The scales are falling from my eyes.
That's why we've never had an elf on the shelf, because I don't want to teach our children that that their behavior is being analysed and judged.
Naughty or nice.
Yeah, I mean, they can all screw themselves.
This is a 15-minute city strategy, isn't it? So, we're training our kids from an early age, aren't we, to behave and conform. And here we are on the verge of 15-minute cities.
Yeah.
I think if they're sensible at the Bilderbergs, they will say they'll do a negotiation strategy, CIA style, won't they? Well, they'll say 15-minute cities, that's ridiculous. We're going to give you 30-minute cities. And everyone will feel like they've got a discount or a concession and say, yeah, bring it on.
Well, yeah, that's like after the lockdown, all of a sudden people were given their freedoms back.
These 30-minute cities are great, aren't they? Could be worse.
They always had them in the first place.
Yes, exactly. Give you your freedom back and make it look like a gift.
Yes.
Which is also another Christmas strategy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. I'm getting triggered, I think, maybe. The control mechanism won't work in Portugal, says Lord Gilchrist. People still... Well, isn't that a saving grace?
Do you know what, Andrew? I really like the fact that we're here because, I think it always takes, Portuguese people a little bit longer to get mobilised. And that's no fault from of them.
No judgment.
Yeah, no judgment. Although that sounds like an obvious judgment.
It did to me.
Yeah, it did sound like a judgment. I'm sorry for saying that. So I think it would take a little bit longer for it all to roll out.
Yeah.
But one of the things I really like about the Portuguese, from what I know about them, and I'm not an expert, but I believe you are, is that their family bonds are so much stronger and that they work together within the family unit a lot more. And so whereas maybe in the US or UK, people that might be enacting some rather inhumane laws and just kind of disassociating themselves and carrying them out, I don't think it's going to happen in quite the same way. I think, if the police or the army or the Air Force or anything are doing anything that it just doesn't resonate with the whole family culture, I think people will start to question it a bit sooner.
Isn't that fantastic?
So that's my thought. I don't know if that's true.
No, but you might say that's a cultural limit. And I have heard
if you attack the family, the family will push back.
There'll be a cultural pushback.
Whereas in the UK, my understanding is that from actually being Brit, I just don't think the family ethos is as strong as it is here.
We could shorthand that to sardines, couldn't we? Like bacon, like Andy saying bacon, Portuguese culture, like come for our sardines and
we'll have you.
Yeah, that's it as a sort of motif.
If you take our coffee,
for family, coffee,
we'll knock you out.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, Andy Gilchrist. Elves on Shelves is 180 1080 pixel HDR spy camera, like the Alexa being listening device, and your cell phone being a tracker. We're so free, aren't we, in this age? Bring back Internet Explorer. Hola, bon dia. From Doug. How you doing,
Doug? How you feeling?
Hey, how are you, old bean? Now, I was trying to read through the homepage of the Bilderberg Group. I was rudely interrupted by you, basically. So I'll go back. Part of the pseudo-scientific experiment. I am not a pandemicist, meteorologist, psychologist, any of the above.
Okay, can I just ask? Even though you're
I'm
not,
never going to get to read this.
Even though you're not a pandemologist or whatever you called it,
pandemonium,
a meteorologist,
yep.
You can look out of your window and know what the weather is. So, like a lot of people say,
using my own senses.
Yes, you have your own human senses.
What?
I'm
speechless.
Well, there are loads of recent examples where we've been called to believe on things that go against our actual senses,
like a cognitive dissonance, you might say.
Well,
or
like
brainwashing.
I think we've kind of been, and this is where I stand, very conspiratorial. But As opposed
up
to when
to now you haven't at all.
But I think there's been a bit of an agenda to make us believe that, like,
gaslighting, you're called.
Gaslighting, to make us think that black is white and white is black.
Yep.
Or actually not to see color at all, because it doesn't exist. And that's, I'm all for equity, but believe it or not, even though if you start to ask questions, most people say, "Oh, you're a far right, blah blah."
Well,
anyway,
I have got to
what
that.
I was going to say is, like,
I daren't say it's sunny outside, just in case somebody does call me a far right extremist. I've been cancelled twice in the last year, haven't I? Me, of all people.
Yeah, I know, because you're really in the middle of everything, aren't you?
Yeah.
You sit very much squarely in the middle.
Endeavour to. I've had to impose some boundaries as well. And I did. No, actually, the score, I've cancelled one person, although not really. And I've been cancelled by 2 people.
Yeah.
How many have you been cancelled by this?
I don't know.
Stopped counting, haven't you?
I have no idea. But we've been encouraged to not believe our senses. So, for instance, the whole thing, like up until 3 years ago, we knew when we were ill because we had symptoms and we got into bed and we slept it off. Yes. And we probably took ourselves out of circulation somewhat.
Yes. So keep talking into your microphone.
So okay. Well, in the last 3 years, we've all learned that there's this thing called.
Oh, I look at a piece of plastic to find out if I'm ill now.
Yeah, like where are our instincts? So we're now being told, or we were told 3 years ago,
I lied on a piece of plastic,
that we can be carriers of things without having any symptoms. But
that was always the thing with
that's just not how bodies.
Wasn't it?
That's just not how bodies work.
You were right.
If you say things like that, people say, "But you're not a doctor."
You and your far right.
But like,
medical
if you haven't got a temperature, your body isn't reacting to anything.
Or as some say, if you.
With the Lucky Land Slots, you can get lucky just about anywhere.
This is your captain speaking. We've got clear runway and the weather's fine, but we're just going to circle up here a while and get lucky. No, nothing like that. It's just these cash prizes add up quick. So I suggest you sit back, keep your tray table upright, and start getting lucky.
Play for free at LuckyLandSlots.com. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
And then what is it? If you're well, you just haven't had enough tests.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, if you look for something hard enough, you'll always be able to find something.
That's true.
Our bodies are a symbiotic mix of everything. Like we've got bacteria, we've got viruses, even, like no viruses have ever actually been completely identified.
I'm never going to get through this homepage, am I? I can see you've peaked earlier than normal. It doesn't take much, does it?
Okay,
but today, I mean, the mere mention of Bilderberg.
Go on. Sorry.
Really?
I was just going to say, this does fit in because these guys are going to be talking about this on their list of things that they want to talk about.
Yes,
is China.
Yeah, I like to talk about China
and
at Gumper gatherings. We've talked about China and Russia.
Immunity in China,
right?
Are their top subjects.
Oh, you've had a little look at this, have you already?
I haven't looked at that, but I've looked at something that was put out by them.
Oh, an interpretation. I'm going direct to Bilderberg. Okay. I'm not allowing myself.
Because they are obviously going to put.
Unless this
really
is a kind of like a double bluff or something. I think I am looking at bilderbergmeetings.org, which I think is the official and not a spoof website or AI or anything like that. Okay.
But if it was, we wouldn't know.
Right. Have you finished?
No, probably.
You haven't.
I don't know. Probably not.
Okay, never. But may I read to the bottom? Can I read?
Oh, and banking. Banking's another thing that they're talking about. Banking, China, and immunity.
This is going to be one of those Facebook reels. Watch as the guy tries to read to the end of the sentence to his conspiracy theorist wife. He never gets there. I'm going to turn her microphone down, everybody.
Okay.
She's like, no, that would be the equivalent of cancelling, which I'm not into. Right. But I might. Okay, thanks. So we got to Chatham House rules, didn't we? Which states that participants are free to use the information received, but neither the identity nor the affiliation of the speakers nor any other participant may be revealed, which, as you say, could be a good or a bad thing.
That's a bad thing. That's a bad thing.
Well, like everything, there could be a good or a bad side to it. I mean, there are times that's a whistleblower, isn't it? In another world.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing. Maybe. Thanks to the private nature of the meetings. Oh, actually, we've got some sound effects, haven't we, for the Illuminati here?
Yeah. No. What you want is you want this one. You want this one because this is super creepy.
That's the God Squad jingle.
I know, but it sounds creepy to me.
It's Darth
Something.
Vader heavily
Okay, go
breathing
on.
through a mask. And I imagine, do you think they're going to have cosplay at this Bilderberg?
Well,
Darth Vader masks, stuff like that?
I've absolutely no idea how
You
these
do
guys
have a
get...
lot of ideas.
No,
but
I
you're just
have no
not
idea
saying.
how they get their kicks.
You so do. But I don't want you to go there.
No,
right
I
now.
don't want to
Really,
go there
I have to draw the
either.
line somewhere. Thanks to the private nature of the meeting, the participants take part as individuals. Oh, I see. Rather than in any official capacity, which is a line I've always taken when I've made a mistake at work, hoping not to be fired, and hence are not bound by the conventions of their office or by pre-agreed positions.
Oh, even they
Free
take
speech.
even they take.
That sounds
even,
like free speech to me.
Do you know what it sounds like? It
What?
sounds like an so they can say what they want,
Yeah.
and also they are not taking responsibility for it because their
Yeah.
names are not allowed to be against
Again,
what they're saying.
There are two sides to that. But yes, what you're saying is right. And I think what I'm saying is right as well. It depends on the context.
Okay.
As such, they can take time to listen. Excellent. That deserves some Gumper dust.
Okay.
Yeah. Reflect and gather insights. That sounds like good.
Gather insights.
No, ennobling and edifying human behavior.
Maybe.
There is no detailed agenda, says here on the website.
Okay.
There are no resolutions. Oh, no resolutions are proposed. No votes are taken.
Yeah, because they're not interested in people's votes.
No policy statements are issued. I'm nearly there. I've nearly read the
Go on
whole
then,
of the
go on
homepage
then.
of the Bilderberg meetings, and it's only taken me 30 minutes to
Go on.
read 2 paragraphs.
Go on.
The 69th Bilderberg meeting, power number, sexy power number, will take place from the 18th to the 21st of May in Lisbon, Portugal.
That's what they're wanting us to eat.
A press release including the list of topics and participants. It's lunchtime. Okay. Oh, dear, you forever changed that sound effect for me. Okay, excellent. Now we're looking at the press release now. How do you think I'm going to be able to get through this? We've got 1, 2, 3. Is everyone else seeing? Yeah, okay, you can see the press release. Louisa is right. That jingle is sinister.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Okay.
It really is.
Everyone's got to go, but we're going to keep talking here, aren't we? Bilderberg's Pete says it sounds like a Zoom meeting with cameras off, meaning that the experts have as much to say as the profoundly spurious snake oil salespeople, a bit like YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, that's a big old judgment.
But you know what?
Statement.
On YouTube, people's faces are usually on it and their names.
Yes.
So, like we are kind of, like we're not hidden.
Traceable.
Yeah, we are traceable.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
in a way that
I should
they're
have
not.
thought about that. Okay.
No,
So
it's
this is
fine.
an anonymous. They still got my photograph on there. Blast! I'm still here. Says Lord. I'm still here. The Espetadas Bichos, are they the cricket Espetadas? Possibly. It's just not cricket, old chap. Like giving the same credence to a nurse. Oh, we got to be fit to John Campbell button here. Is that a trigger? Like giving the same credence to a nurse with, and I have got into some trouble on Facebook, I think. Although
Have you? Why?
Yes, I was talking about excess deaths.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got one correspondent on Facebook who only ever, have you noticed this on Facebook, where you've got someone who only comments on one particular kind of content that you put up?
Not really.
I put lots of stuff up,
Yeah.
but whenever I put anything pandemic, vaccine, or excess death related,
Yeah.
this guy responds within minutes.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's a bot. I don't think he is, but it's almost like, and he says nothing else like happy anniversary or have a great birthday. He's just there to deal with this. So same credence to a nurse with a doctorate in media studies as to a PhD in bioscience, like the utterly discredited nurse John. Utterly discredited. I'm not seeing those.
No, I haven't
websites.
seen that. He's utterly discredited.
I think that's the esteemed Dr. Campbell. See, it's like you and me here. It's the Gumper Gathering versus the Builder. It depends how you look at things, doesn't it?
I like Andrew's last comment.
These are all points of view. It's comforting to know that AI will be the ultimate controlling device that will dominate humanity. The difference engine without a soul will make species-wide decisions.
Yeah.
Come on, it's not. It's never going to happen. The only artificial intelligence that's going on is a lack of intelligence, basically, which I would hazard a guess. I would say, in my conspiratorial way, that there is not much intelligence at a Bilderberg meeting. It's people just with a certain agenda, confirmation biasing themselves. They've got lots of money as well, and they feel important, and they're probably sexually frustrated. That would be mine.
I suspect it's a bit like it's just a massive brainstorming. Okay, so here's where we want to be in 60 years. Right, we've got our 2030 goals.
Well,
but hang on,
send them an email.
No, please.
We've got the email address there. If I could actually send them a link to this YouTube.
No,
you're in more trouble than me if that happens. Aren't you?
Oh, it doesn't matter. But I think it's a bit like they've got their 2030 goals, which they're already kind of hurtling towards. But I think actually the Bilderberg is like, okay, it's like what every CEO is doing in a big company. They're saying, okay, where do we want to be in 2090? Okay, right. How on task are we with that? Okay, so let's have some blue sky thinking. Let's create some focus teams.
Yeah.
Schwab, you're over there.
No one would talk
Johnson.
to Klaus like that.
Okay, well,
Schwab, you're over there. He's the one who says stuff like that.
Well, you know what I mean.
You,
like they get like
Justin, go over there and talk to Hyena, whatever the New Zealand. What's she called? What's she called? The New Zealand Jacinda and Justin, go make babies for new VEF staffing. Which you, according to one of your theories, would be impossible.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's not. No. I will cancel you.
You need
draw the line somewhere.
Okay.
Okay. I think we've lost Pete. Pete's officially gone ad hominem.
Oh.
Esteemed at hospital bed corners, but talking absolute bollocks on YouTube.
He doesn't like.
Is Dr. Campbell like Nurse Ratched? I don't think that's been said, is it? And what's the other one? Yes, and making a fortune from the intellectually challenged. That's unfair. I am not a member of his YouTube channel. And Bilderberg pulls the strings.
How's he making a fortune? I don't think.
I hope John Campbell. I mean, from my own personal point of view, I enjoy his videos. I get a lot of good confirmation bias from John Campbell.
Well, I mean, we all have our preferred channels, don't we? Where we
Yes.
get confirmation bias.
Yeah.
But I don't see how he's making a fortune from the intellectually
him and
challenged.
Asim Malhotra. I think the Roadshow is doing pretty well, and
Oh,
it should,
okay.
as far as I'm concerned. But
Okay.
I've said Malhotra now. If Pete wasn't incendiary enough, that might do the trick. Bilderberg pulls the strings of every government and intelligence agency in the Western world.
Interesting, yeah.
James Morgan.
Yeah. What
That-
could possibly go wrong?
I've
that
got a
all
little
these
bit of a
people get
lateral
together
thought.
and then they start planning like the next 50 years.
If that is true, the best way to get through to Seth then possibly is to join the Bilderbergs. Then you can be pulling the strings from the inside. But then again, they're probably not worried about visas and lowly matters like that, are they? So, all corporate thinking, we want growth year on year.
Yeah. Well, I think what you mean by that, Andrew, is we want personal growth year on year and we want poverty year on year and
Yes.
more.
Socialism for the rich, capitalism for the poor. I think that'll be on the agenda, won't it? Okay, so I still haven't. It's 10:55, Mrs. M. I've been sat in front of this computer for about 5 hours now.
Yeah.
All together. Can I please read the
Go
press
on.
release
Okay.
of the Bilderberg meeting 2023, the 69th Bilderberg meeting to take place. Welcome everybody to the 69th Bilderberg meeting taking place here in Lisbon, Portugal.
I've been at every single one.
That's right. I remember when I was 102 at the first one. Lisbon. I think George Soros still with us? There were rumors that he passed away. He might have been flown in. Is he part of this? Lisbon, 18th of May 2023, the 69th Bilderberg meeting will take place from the 18th to 21st of May in Lisbon, Portugal. About 130 participants from 23 countries. That's not a very... I'm hoping with my Portugal immigrant network, we're going to get a better representation than that. 23 countries of the 180 countries of the world. As ever, a diverse group of political leaders They've just said it's 130 people from 23 countries. That doesn't sound essentially diverse to me.
No, it's not very diverse.
Political leaders and experts from industry, finance, academia. Oh, now we're in trouble. Labour and the media have been invited.
The media, that's interesting, isn't it?
List of participants. We've got to comb that as well before we leave. Do you want to get a glass of wine?
No.
Key topics for discussion this year. I wonder if I can get through this list without Mrs. M losing it. AI, the banking system. The debt system, shouldn't that be? China, energy transition.
Yeah, transitioning us to.
Okay,
I won't
Europe, fiscal challenges. Shouldn't that be in banking system? India, industrial policy and trade. NATO, Russia, transnational threats. Which they are, from what you're saying, Ukraine and US leadership. Some of that would be great, wouldn't it? Founded in 1954, the Bilderberg meeting is. You see, everyone's a target as far as I'm concerned. I'm not being favouritist here. I'm being deeply irreverent as well. The Bilderberg meeting is an annual conference designed to foster dialogue. Have we done this bit, haven't we? Isn't this just
they've just pretty much copied the same thing, haven't they?
That's lazy.
It's super lazy.
I think they gave it to an intern who just cut and pasted it across.
Yeah, I mean, it's got all the hallmarks of something that's really not important. Like,
yeah,
all that is
better
a front
stick something
cover.
up on the internet.
That just looks like, somebody's magazine. It's got no photos. It's got no nothing.
Well, no, because it's like a Gumper gathering. We've done. Only one Gumper has ever got angry, and he had a similar accent to Klaus Schwab. Actually, he got angry when I took a photograph of the gathering. I mean, I would suggest not going.
Oh gosh, yes.
He was, yeah.
He
did say you have no respect for my privacy,
Yeah.
which was true, and I'm sure we could have sorted it out, but not seen much of him since. So, do you know Stacey Abrams? Is there a scrap going on?
Yeah, I need to sort it out.
Oh, what a shame! I'll be able to read this whole list without you. David Lammy.
See, Henry Kissinger, I don't think should be going at all.
Kissinger.
I mean, he's dark.
Knocking on a bit as well.
Well, a lot of these people, I think, are probably in their 80s.
Are they? Okay. So good job your mum and dad didn't fly into the airport today, because I think all the wheelchairs will be being used at Lisbon airport in the next few days. Don't actually remember. Oh, Peter Thiel, interesting fella. As well. Don't recognise a lot of these. Perhaps not the... Mark Rutte, a name you might know as well. No, it's not an especially luminous or inspiring panel as far as I'm concerned. I wonder what the security's like in Lisbon as well. Anyway, I think it's fair to say we've done our bit. The light has gone out of my phone-in life here with a big space where Mrs. M was a few minutes ago talking about this. I think we've talked about the Bilderberg, and thank you for your input on this. And they are meeting, of course, in Lisbon. When is this? From yesterday until Sunday. And I think there will be differences between the Bilderberg group and the Discovery weekends that the Gumpers are hoping to meet at come September. AI, as a final thought from João Ferreira. João, great to have you here. Thank you for your contributions and your info about the Posadas as well. AI will in time turn the human species into a bunch of stupid, non-thinking people. You could say, couldn't you, that we may have already reached that point. Humans will get used to having a crutch that does all the thinking for them. Now, some would argue, João F., that we already do that, and that is part of the problem of contemporary life, and that's where the Bilderberg step in. If we were to just laugh at them and their agenda and not be frightened by it, or say, oh, thank you, we were really wondering how to live our lives, and the 15-minute city sounds like a great idea, we won't have to think at all for ourselves. You could argue that is largely not just in the post, but has been delivered, all that sort of stuff. Now you can read the article. I think I got through to the end of the article. Now Mrs. M has gone. I don't think there's anything else to add here. There are some FAQs on the official website. Now let me see if they give anything away here, if I bring this back onto the screen. The FAQs. Let me just share the right screen for you so you can see it. And I wonder if the Portuguese... João, can you tell us if the Portuguese media have reported on the fact that the great and the good of world leadership, certainly in this context, have arrived in... A CNN, you would think, would be, if what people are saying is true about the Bilderberg groups, Bilderberg meetings, that CNN might give it some coverage. Oh, Francis just back wondering what on the hell has happened, I think. Pardon my silence if you sent a message, been a busy morning. Hey, Francis, how you do? Like Google. I'm not sure what that means.
Do you know what? I feel like I need to confess. And
what? And say that you're being a little partisan and partial and biased here?
No. I think I need to just admit that I'm just being a massive dick.
Oh.
Okay,
that's an interesting turn for the phone.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I haven't really ever sort of publicly said that before, but it occurs to me there's absolutely naff all I can do about a Bilderberg meeting and the participants. And actually, I'm just kind of really scathing. You're right. I'm not there. I can't really see what's going on.
You're not giving them an open-minded reception.
No, I've just been a real dick. I could be a lot more welcoming, that there are people that really care about the planet, that want to, I don't think I can do this. No, that want to look after the world. And, I'm not stepping up.
These are great questions, though. Look.
Go on.
And thank you for that.
Yeah.
By the way, I mean, we're all dicks, aren't we, from time to time? Whoever doesn't think that is probably the biggest dick ever.
Look, there's that question. Yeah. Why does Bilderberg attract criticism from
Shall we
certain
go
groups?
there? And I'm expecting some massive. Again, they've given this to the intern, haven't they?
Yeah. The Bilderberg meetings have often been the target of anti-globalization protests and various conspiracy theorists.
Yeah.
I can't read it now because you just
have
expressed wild allegations about the purpose of the gatherings. Whilst these claims lack any and all merit, we regret to see that many continue to flourish online and in social media groups. Well, I am one of those. No,
that's good enough for me.
What?
They've said it there. The claims lack any and all merit, so I don't need to worry about it anymore.
Oh, yeah. So if they,
and neither should you.
So because they've said there is nothing to worry about, we should just trust them.
So I think that's a good note to end on, isn't it?
Yes, that's
excellent
fair.
Stuff. Okay, happy anniversary, Squire. I thought it was you. And obrigado, my lord, Man Cave Eshtonoit. So the Man Cave is on tonight. Dare the Man Cave talk about the Bilderbergs tonight.
I imagine if they talk about it when they're boozy, it'd be quite fun.
Right, okay, yeah. And then Garvo will come in and say it's all subjective, of course.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, and the voice of reason will speak, and all will be well with the world. The Man Cave.
I mean, I guess if no one steps up to lead in the way that they feel that they should, and everyone else seems to just...
Someone else will.
Yeah, someone's always going to step into that place.
Yeah, well, I was just addressing that. Joao said AI will in time turn the human species into a bunch of stupid, not thinking people, and not in a good way.
Yeah.
I mean, on a personal level, I think it would be great if we all stopped thinking. But I think...
But when you say stop thinking, don't you mean that humans will become?
I think
come
thinking
back into
has got
instinct.
us into the trouble we're in. Frankly,
they'll come back into instinct and be.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Be true humans. The thinking human is just some sort of conceptual weirdness that has come up with AI. I mean, obviously,
the global nobles.
Well, that's so kind. That's so kind. I mean, it was a Marmite show for sure, wasn't it? And we could have lost people. And we probably have, to be fair. But thank you very much. And
Bless you both.
You can sense that we're drawing to a close now. I'm spent. I've got to get in my limousine, which is outside. I'm just off to Lisbon. I can't say why.
No. Is it because you're going to the expats Portugal?
Yeah, that's
tonight?
right. That's right. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm doing. So there's nothing to worry about, and any and all rumors about the Bilderberg meetings have no merit.
No, absolutely no merit.
Excellent. Okay.
The wild allegations.
Yes. Ridiculous. Okay. Have a great weekend. Bon fin semana.
Bon fin semana.
Great job. Bye for now. See you Monday. Ciao.
Lucky Land Casino, asking people, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
Lucky? In line at the deli, I guess?
Aha, in my dentist's office. More than once, actually.
Do I have to say?
Yes, you do.
In the car before my kids' PTA meeting.
Really?
Yes.
Excuse me, what's the weirdest place you've gotten lucky?
I never win and tell.
Well, there you have it. You can get lucky anywhere, playing at LuckyLandSlots.com. Play for free right now. Are you feeling lucky? No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+. Terms and conditions apply. See website for details.
Hello, Saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.